Yo, what is up, you guys? Little Stocks Bro here, giving you your weekly update on the options account. And if you take a look, yeah, today the account took a huge beating. The account sits under $9,000 right now. Took a $5,400 hit today, thanks to Alibaba. Today was its earnings, along with XPeng. And the earnings disappointed. It disappointed a lot of people, but that doesn't mean they were bad. They just disappointed Wall Street. And in large part due to the fine that they received from the Chinese government, the $2.8 billion fine that happened a while back ago. It really hurt their earnings this quarter. It hurt their entire report. But that's just what it is. It was a one-time thing. Wall Street didn't like it. They wanted Alibaba to come out and crush it, and they didn't. So people sold it off. Now, at this point, Alibaba's reached absolute ridiculously insane levels. Alibaba in the 220s and 230s was already screaming buy, extremely undervalued. And where it sits right now, it's gotten to a point where it's just ridiculous. And sometimes that happens in Wall Street, in the stock market. Sometimes it happens, and the best you can do is just take as much advantage of it as you possibly can. So that's what I look to do now. So let's go and jump over and take a look at actually my position in Alibaba. So Alibaba, yeah, took a $13.82 hit today, down 6.2%. That's huge for a company the size of Alibaba in terms of market capitalization, which is basically what the stock market values the company at. It lost billions and billions and billions of dollars today. It's going down $13.82. I don't know how many billions of dollars that is, but I think it's about double. So probably they probably lost somewhere around $25 billion in market cap in value. Okay, just wiped off today. 25 billion. Gone. And it's twice as terrible considering the fact that for the last few weeks, Alibaba has been doing nothing but tanking. I mean, if I show you real quick, if we look at the 1 week chart, down 8.87%, down $20 in the past 1 week. If we look at the 1 month, down 14.25%, down $34 in a single month. I mean, no wonder my account is destroyed. I mean, my account's destroyed. It's following Alibaba's lead. Down 3. Oh my God, it just gets worse. So we go from 8% in a week to 14% a month to 23% the past 3 months. I mean, they are really disrespecting Alibaba right now, guys. They are throwing shade onto Alibaba, throwing shame onto Alibaba. They are just a complete disregard of the giant that Alibaba is. But it's okay because, like I said, in the short term, anything can happen. Volatility is crazy, especially right now with the current market conditions overall. You know, anything can happen, which is why whether you're doing options or whether you're investing in shares and stocks, you want to make sure that your mentality is long term. That's why I buy my contracts not 1 week out, not 1 month out, not even 3 months out. Yes, some do become 3 months eventually, but those I decide to, get rid of as fast as I possibly can. You want to buy them 5-6 months out plus. If you can afford to buy contracts out that are like 1 year out plus, perfect. That's what you should be doing. And when you're investing, if you're buying shares, make sure that you buy your shares thinking in the long term. Don't, buy shares hoping that the price goes up in 1 week and you make money in 1 week. No. You want to buy shares and for the price to go down so you can buy more until you've reached a comfortable level. And then only after you've completely invested and you've reached levels where you're comfortable do you then want the share price to go up slowly and relax. You don't want it to shoot up either. You don't want it to just blast off because that's not the way things work. You want for the share price to reflect the growth of the company as much as possible. That's the perfect scenario because you want things to make sense. If the share price blasts off, that doesn't make sense because did the company blast off? Did something extreme happen in the company for the share price to act extreme? Well, no. And in the same way, vice versa, it works the same. Alibaba dropped, how much did it drop today? 6%. Did something extreme happen in the company today to make it drop 6%? No, nothing happened. Shares sometimes act completely different to what the companies are doing. And when that happens, you just have to take advantage. Just take advantage, and that's all you can do. That's really all you can do. But, okay, enough of that ramble. Let's take a look at my actual position on Alibaba. So we are currently down 10 grand on Alibaba. 10 whole grand. And 5,000 of those 10 grand, 50% of it came literally just today, one single day, down $5,000. We still have a value of around $8,700 in Alibaba. And as you can see, we now have 12 contracts. Now, why is that? Well, down here, I did buy some short term, which I don't usually do. But when things get crazy, I just take advantage. I'll explain why they're so short term in a second. I did buy some short term 5 July 16th contracts on Alibaba when it was at around $210. And so now you might be wondering, damn, where do you get the money to buy 5 contracts on Alibaba? Well, I ended up selling Xpeng. There you have it. There you have it. Xpeng is gone. Xpeng is no more. I completely liquidated my position on Xpeng. Why? It's not because Xpeng was tanking. It's not because I no longer believe in the company. I actually really, really want to start a position on Xpeng. Now that it's below $25, oh my god, if I could start an options position on Xpeng below $25, I would start it very, very far out. All my contracts for next year, that's just easy money in my opinion. Xpeng is completely undervalued at this point. My estimate for Xpeng is around $25 to $30. So anything under 25 for a growth company in a growth company in a growth sector such as EVs in a growth country like China. I mean, Xpeng is just a beautiful company, and I will start my position again on Xpeng in the future once I'm done with Alibaba. If there's one thing that I wish I didn't do, is try and juggle both of them at the same time. I should not have been in both Xpeng and Alibaba because they are both in the tech sector and they are both companies from China. I should have had those. I should have had some more diversity, but it just ended up being what it is, and so now here we are. So we are now in Baba, only exclusively Baba, and now I can focus all of my attention to Baba and trying to buy Baba and flip Baba. And thankfully, now that Baba is this low, the contracts are also extremely cheap. I no longer have to spend $2,500 for a single contract. Now I can buy a very good contract, in my opinion, for about $1,000, and I can get a really nice contract. So I'm looking to load up as much as I can while Alibaba is still in Looney Town, is what I'm gonna call it. Alibaba under $220 is just Looney Town. So in a nutshell, what I did was I sold all my Xpeng contracts at around $24 per share. When Xpeng was trading at around $24 per share, because at that time I saw that Alibaba was at $210 per share, and when I saw Alibaba at $210, I knew that there was a huge overreaction on Wall Street's part, and I just had to take advantage. So I moved the capital that I had remaining in the Xpeng contracts over to Alibaba because I believe that they'll be of more use there. I believe it's much easier for Alibaba to go from 210, where I bought the contracts, back to 225, 230, than what it is for Xpeng to go from $24 back to $30 or $32. So that's my bet. That's my thinking. And like I said earlier in my YouTube channel, I mentioned how if Alibaba did get crazy, that I would put all my eggs into Alibaba and focus on that. And so here we are. It's happened. And so I put my money where my mouth is. And yeah, I bought these 5 contracts, and my plan is to flip them because my earliest contract, which is August 20th, I won't be able to sell any of those until Alibaba goes back to the 230s, because otherwise I would be selling them for a loss. And there's no need to take losses on these contracts now. I mean, these contracts don't expire until the fall. It's not even summertime yet, guys. There's a bunch of time. There's a whole lot of time for Alibaba to do whatever it is it wants to do, and for these contracts to regain a whole bunch of value, regain all their value, and even more than that. So if I just remind you guys, just so remember what I was capable of. Remember, December 24th was at $222, and literally 1 month later, $40 plus, yeah, $260. So it doesn't take a long time for a company like this to move a lot, So that's why the volatility is so insane and the contracts move so much. So you just got to remember, during moments like these, what you need is to be patient and to have a lot of emotional control. And I personally have a bunch of that, so we're good. We're chilling. We're gonna be patient. We're gonna slowly take advantage of this huge dip on Baba. Take advantage of it being in Looney Town. We're gonna try and flip these short-term contracts that I have. If Baba goes to $220 or about 219, 220, I'll sell two and take that money and wait for a pullback to buy to continue buying my longer term contracts. So I won't be buying any more short term contracts, just these five, so I can use them to flip as long as Baba's in Looney Town. And after that, once I do start flipping them, if I can flip them successfully, I will continue buying the October contracts, the November contracts, the January 2022 contracts, and hopefully beyond. Depends. How long does Alibaba want to stay in these levels and allow me to build up my position? Who knows? But all we need really is one good month out of Alibaba, or even just a few good weeks, and these contracts can dang near double in value. So I'm gonna try and load up until then, and that's the game plan. So next week we'll see what happens. If Alibaba wants to go even lower than this, it's fine by me. I'm not interested in selling anything. There's nothing I can do with those options anyways. So for all I care, they can go to $1. As long as I'm able to buy good contracts for super cheap and nothing happens with the actual company, I'm cool with it. So yeah, that's where we are, guys. That's it for this one. I will catch you again next week with the next update video. Peace.